So good. It's like chicken.
And open it. Open it.
We need to get some eels.
6 strangers must return to the wilderness, traveling old trade routes of the Ulnu and Unamagi, also known as Cape Breton. Surviving for 25 days with no modern technology, learning the old ways from the elders, to reconnect to their past and find what truly matters. Previously, the adventurers were visited by Joe and Judy Gugu, who shared teachings about medicines and how to utilize the natural healing properties available all around them. Now, continuing with their teachings, they want to show the group a more practical skill for their tired and hungry bodies: how to properly prepare eels. Joe and Judy have returned to teach everyone how to prepare eels, a traditional delicacy that fills the waters all around them.
I'm very pleased to be on the lake. I think we'll probably have a lot more luck with food. There's probably more fish in the lake and we can paddle out and perhaps get something. That's exciting.
Kado. Ispadada sila. Kakawaki. There's 2 things that this is good for. I don't want to say it. You know what I'm talking about, yeah?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Everybody knows what I'm talking
Strong like
about.
bull.
Strong like a bull, yeah. It's, that's what this is good for. But
I don't understand.
you don't understand. Okay, there's a word for it.
Really
If you want to make babies,
Oh.
strong
fertile, yeah.
like bull.
strong like a bull.
Home run.
You have to eat it, and it's also
Give me some of that.
it's also a sedative. So after you make the baby, you could go to sleep.
How much do you have to eat for
To make you sleepy, or you want to sleep?
to wake you up?
Probably 1 meal.
So do you eat the eel for virility or for sedative when it's dried, or do you eat it just as a meal?
I
Yes,
eat it.
meal.
Sometimes I like oven baked eels. They call them kwasao. That's a fillet eel. But there's another gado is kazuabu, and the other one is ebit nasi. They call them, that's a baked eel. But it's almost a baked eel and the fillet eel are almost the same. You bake them in the oven. That's it. But they taste
You
great
make
coming out.
pouches and
Yeah.
stuff with it.
And like they make pouches out of that and everything like that.
That's-
Then well, you cook the eel first, then put it in the bread, then cook the bread.
Okay.
It's good you got.
I've been kneeling since I was 8 years old. My God.
So you strong like bull.
Yeah.
He has 9 kids.
9 kids.
Hey,
Over 50 grandchildren.
prove us in the bread for them.
Yeah. So.
Sign me up.
Scotty.
Okay, now. Next step, ang pagkado is siguro, that means Jerome is going to skin it. Then we're going to cook it. Then we're going to eat it. Are you, Joe?
Yeah.
Where's the eels?
Katian alak first. Alad wanjish.
Okay.
Katian alak first. Katian gida hard one.
Got the anal first.
Ella, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grip, nasi ya.
Okay, good day. Okay, you can good. It's very good. Nige. Oh, got the anal. Nige. Right now, I'm gotten it. So.
Say what is Katian?
Just a minute. Look at it.
Is he skidamokal na Katian?
Oh, okay, man.
Say what?
That's good for bait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I helped skin the eel. That was pretty fun. I've never seen that before.
Na real biscuit all. This is how you peel it.
Look away below.
Look in the middle.
Yeah. Don't slap me with it.
I can make that, dude.
Get it up.
Come on, you can do it, you can do
You
it.
did it! Yoo-hoo.
It's pretty interesting because I was like, is he seriously putting it in his mouth? He's pulling it and he actually did, and that seems really awesome.
Despite how strange the technique might seem, if they want to eat, the adventurers are going to have to step up and give it a try. Hungry but excited, Logan is first to volunteer to try peeling an eel with his teeth.
Welcome to Logan's Kitchen.
Okay, there you go. Now, when you start the belly button.
The way that they peeled the eel was pretty funny. I got a good laugh.
Here's the
I never expected them to have to bite it and peel it. That was something I've never seen done before, so that was pretty cool.
There you go.
Good
Look at
job.
that. Good job.
Wow.
It's pretty cool doing that. It felt like a snake. It was weird, but the funnest part was pulling that part, and I really enjoyed that. That was so awesome.
Joshua.
There you go.
Se,
Jump out.
don't tell me majid me.
I'm the dead. Mungkin jump me imagine nego.
Se buat solak pa kami na albuguit. Me da nega mal time gejidun.
You see what I did there?
Kidu ga chidom se ko ya.
And then we made a chop right near the face, behind the ears, and we peeled it back just a bit, and then you put it in your mouth, and you just peel it like a sausage roll or something. I don't know. It was just, I didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah, it's what I did. Not new. Now, good thing I got the deck. I'll do it travel. I will do it. I think I'm going to do it. What you and travel to what you do anyway. Got I don't know. Yep. So, maybe my other got all the other. Okay.
Green we go let go. I scudi omondi ya. I'm sure to go. Them some uncle like my wisuam gatti anna.
Yeah, I definitely good to touch you. Yeah. Pero what my own, you know.
We know. See the walk on that, Joe.
Go right here,
Right there.
right behind the gills.
No, did not want to try to do the eel. I mean, I would have if it came down to it, but nobody pressured me into it. So it's fine.
No, go ahead. It's only a piece anyway.
Oh, sorry. You can tell it's a very strong animal, right? It's like almost like a constrictor, like a snake sort of feeling, but it's very slippery to hold on to. It's like a water banana peel.
Now you just push your knife till you get to the skin. Okay.
When you're pulling it off, it's crazy because it just comes right off. Like it's almost like opening a saran wrap or cellophane. It's like really not too different if you can get your mind past it. I thought I was gonna have a difficult time actually doing any of this. You know, that nice hot meals right after, you're really not worried about the whole process because when you're hungry and it's not
Nice eel.
That's good.
Nice.
I didn't want to peel it because I did not want to have a raw eel in my mouth and have bits and pieces of raw eel in my teeth. I really thought about it and I just didn't feel comfortable doing it.
Oh yeah, you did
There you go.
awesome job.
Good shot.
Just.
We also got to try eel and we got to have trout and we prepared them ourselves.
Ada we are.
I've never gutted a trout before or a fish, so that was fun, actually. I thought it would be, I don't know, grosser in a way, I guess, but it really wasn't. It's just food. Food is food.
I really had a pleasure preparing and filleting the trout and the eels.
Musuga and gatian.
No. What we do is just bake the pemula. Just egg.
This caviar will give you lots of
Makes
energy.
me a little bird.
Real Judy? You don't know what I mean?
Nina,
Yeah?
canoeing.
Deal.
I'll try it.
Very much.
The caviar was nice too, raw and cooked. It was just like little bursts of egg yolk. Never tried it myself, but very very blessed and very happy to have tried these things today.
Oh, daar deed ik ook, man. Nou, kieslik.
Here you go.
Kieslik.
Joe, do you want some?
You have a fish?
Kadawa.
Minagi me. Kabio, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. It's like chicken fish.
Walalen. Welcome.
Wow. Very good. I love
It's
this.
good, huh? Yeah.
Amazing.
Ja, du kan betalen, Joe.
Good dry, good out.
Wow.
I take.
Du går då. Uit dit.
I take.
Wel warm.
Yeah.
So good. You want some fish eggs cooked?
Eel?
I'll have some more eel as well.
I'm feeling cold and a little sick.
Ja, it's ready, yeah.
It should be ready, yeah.
Ska nu då.
Right.
Ja.
I take it.
I'll take a piece of eel.
I'll try some of that eel.
Thank you.
I've never tried eel before, so when I seen it for the first time, I thought it was different and I was kind of scared to eat it. I don't know. I was skeptical, but it actually tasted really good. It tasted like fried chicken, which I like. I hope that we can catch some eel.
Kieslik er ook wel.
TBS.
Well, never kieslik, sure.
Yeah, they've got them.
Heb je dan normaal ook toemak is weer op je daar lap.
I want strong like bull.
I'll fill it and then everything.
Kieslik er ook wel.
Rona was it?
It's amazing.
A lot of these teachings, you need to be there and feel and touch and experience them. It's not just like, I'm gonna go research on the computer. It's about being connected, being here, being on the land. It's a journey, and I'm so glad I stuck it out. I hope that people enjoy watching.
The eels just got me it gave me so much energy. I feel like I had a can of Red Bull or two, just ready to go, and I wasn't like this half an hour ago. It sounds cliche, but it did taste like chicken. And it was like almost boiled chicken, but it was just the bit of like the charcoal on the fire just hit it nicely, and it was really good.
So good.
Teresa was like, what do you do with the bones? And I grabbed hers, and I'm like, you're wasting meat there. And I picked off the last little bits. And we tossed them in the fire, but yeah. If you ever have a chance to try eel, I really recommend it.
It's what the supermarket keeps us disconnected from, but I think it's actually a really important part of appreciating what it takes, and that these animals have lives, and that we need to appreciate other beings and other things and take what we need. And, you know, I think that all comes into play when you actually have to work for it and deal with it one-on-one with your hands. And I think that's something that society has kind of taken away from humans as a living being. I think we should all experience that, I think.
I love just to be able to help prepare the food and get everybody happy and, you know, ready to have a good night.
This is definitely one of the best learning experiences that I've had, and I hope that I can cherish it and bring some knowledge back to my community.
All the stuff that we're experiencing pretty much is close to a first time for me. The first time doing eel, and I love it. Totally happy with it.
You know, we're all kind of rallying behind each other now that we're close to the end, just to help push each other through to get to that final camp.
Refreshed and inspired, Daybi and Logan try to source more food during the night.
We're about to go clamming and eeling.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, cheers. We don't see any signs of fish right now, but if you're out there, we're gonna kill you! Kill you! Woo! I'm looking through the screen, that shouldn't be. Oh! Damn. Okay, spear. Yeah, man. We're getting ready to do this mission. We should go grab the spear too. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a baby eel. Go this way. There's a whole bunch right here. Go this way. It's not getting too muddy. Oh, there's some right there. Some water in there. Keep them alive. Fresh as possible. Hey, you dropped one. So, mofos. Yeah, Yeah, then we're going eeling, reeling. Boom. You all right? You all right? Something on the shore, eh? It's like an otter or something. We come home with bounty. Woke up this morning, went fishing, no luck. What'd we caught? Clams. Mad bucket of clams, yo. We're on a strictly muscle diet because we're made of muscle in the house. Biggest pot yet of muscle. Just saying, we gotta eat. Fools gotta eat.
Now able to source food, can the group build on their successes, or will they become complacent in what they have? A new day brings a warm sun to match the group's newfound optimism. With so many skills, they are in control of their journey like never before.
And like just where we're at now is like we were in the bog the other day and it was dreary, rainy, but now I took a bath in the river, in the lake, and there's clams everywhere, and feeling really positive.
With new sources of food, the adventurers have the confidence and energy to reflect on their journey and what it has done for them.
The mussels first thing in the morning, easy. It's right there on the shore. Grab some, start the day. So much better to start the day with something in your stomach and gets you through the rest of the day. So we started to drag lines. So we're getting there.
While Daybi has chosen to continue the tasks at camp and look inward, others seem unable to find purpose in the relative comfort they now enjoy.
I have more time to think about my grandfather and his grandfather, or his father and my son, and yeah, I mean, I think about it more often now, and I just appreciate how hardy they were as people.
I'm sure some people handle it way differently than others, you know what I mean?
As they reflect on the journey in different ways, some have become more in tune with the way of life their ancestors once thrived in, while others continue to feel the lure of their old ways.
You know, yesterday I started chopping a log, I'm just like, ugh, you know, like I'm just spent. But I mean, again, they were more adequate at hunting. So they were raised into this, you know what I mean? So I have to give myself that, because I'm pretty hard on myself. Like I'm stumbling when I go hunting, I'm loud, you know, I don't know how to carry my spear. I tipped my canoe in ankle-deep water. I mean, just these things, you know, it's very challenging to like get yourself back up and keep going, trying again, because it's like, you're like, okay, let's do a national television and I'm tipping my canoe in like one ankle of water. It's like, come on.
You ever watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Once in a while, I would watch it.
There's this one episode where Kourtney's water broke and she's just like showering, getting all
Oh, dude.
I know I'm good. I'm doing better, I think, and it's interesting how that happens. That, you know, you kind of like let yourself go through it and realize how much you don't need and how much you didn't need. And you know, our society tends to overeat, overorder, overdo everything, and then you just realize how simple you can maintain on. Because right now, like, yeah, I'm a little hungry now, but not as hungry as I thought I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. They drink water. I'm fine. Like, you know, it's a blessing. I'm very happy that I have this chance, because no one, like, I think everyone, not just our people, could use something like this, because it really clarifies things.
I feel like there will be a discussion about it tonight, about myself not really engaging with everyone, but that will be one of my thorns that I'm going to talk about, is how I was just not feeling 100% today, and I didn't want to like tell somebody, because I don't know, I just didn't want them to take time out of their day to like help me when they could be doing something else. I felt like I was going to fall asleep every time I stood up. I was like not having it today. I just think it's lack of warmth, food, and water. So I plan to drink a lot of water tonight and follow Judy's instructions on how to feel better with the medicine that she did give me. So I'm hoping that they do work and that I will feel better tomorrow.
People come out of their shell at their own pace. You know, she's from a remote community far away. She misses her family. I totally get it. You know, but the thing is, she's sticking in there. So I think give her a little more time and whatever. She's finding her place. She's adjusting. She's here. So that's what matters. And I'm not one to push anything on anybody. So you know, she can take it or leave it at this point. But you know, as long as she stays in there, because like I was telling everyone, like we're not just doing this for ourselves and our families, but people are watching. People will be watching, and I think that anyone who attaches themselves to any of us in the cast while they're watching this series is like, you know, it'd be disappointing, especially if they're looking up to us or they, you know, it's like a test of perseverance as well as self-growth and learning. It's all the things in one. I think, like I said, I think everyone should go through it.
No, I think Jody has been good today. She was feeling a little sick earlier, so I hope eating and drinking some water helped her. But she definitely seemed like she was in better spirits than the other day, so I think she's doing all right.
It was just a good day all around. I didn't expect it to turn out like this.
A change in direction must be followed by taking new steps forward. Everything that comes from the land is a gift. Every teaching must be passed on. Can we walk a new path first, so others may follow with ease? Is the strongest change the one we make in ourselves?
And then we eat something, I hope.
Don't get your hopes up. We gotta catch something if we want to eat.
Six strangers must return to the wilderness, traveling old trade routes of the Ulnu and Unamagi, also known as Cape Breton. Surviving for 25 days with no modern technology. Learning the old ways from the elders to reconnect to their past and find what truly matters. On the shores of Eel Lake, the adventurers have found a new sense of peace and positivity. But while trying to source new food overnight, they realize implementing their new knowledge takes practice.
Last night we tried doing some spear fishing and getting some clams. And basically, I put some chum out, some of from the eel and all that sort of thing. And I was hoping to draw bigger fish in, so we could spear them, but nothing really came of that. So kind of went to bed. We had mussels again for dinner, so I was up pretty early feeling it. So I went to go check my gorge lines, and there was nothing there, so it was kind of a disappointment, but it was worth the effort. Yeah, it's just the practice of it, just getting up, getting out and doing something. It's kind of like, it was a beautiful day, the water looked like ice. It was amazing.
Preparing to leave for their next camp, the group dismantles their wigwam. This task has become second nature as they have learned to work together effectively to form a reliable team.
The whole group and I got to take down our campsite. Once we finished, we got ready to canoe to our new location.
Logan is my paddle partner. He's a really good steerer, actually. He's a good paddle partner. I like having him in there. He's yeah, I can't steer, so he's good.
Paddling like on this lake, on this beautiful lake, it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's good to reconnect with the land. You can tell everyone was like carrying a bunch of like negative energy when they first got here, from what I've heard. And we all came together and we're all clearing it out of our systems. Go back to the city life with a new perspective, clear backpack, look at things. It's good to be on the land where our people once thrived, and it feels good.
The adventurers paddle a meandering 3 kilometers through the chain of lakes, some with better results than others.
Paddling was fun, except it sinks. It fills up to your leg, and that's not fun.
We took on water, so we had to pull over at one point and dump our canoe.
Teresa and Logan took on a bit of water, but nothing crazy.
We would have sank if we didn't do that, definitely. So a little wet, still a little cold. I'm definitely cold now. Can't wait to warm up.
Jody's a good partner for paddling, and we had to stop to pick up the gorge line, check it again. Still nothing, but I was a little worried about that because I set the line up myself, so it was really difficult at some points. I almost tipped over.
The paddling was beautiful, but it was tiring because we had a difficult time trying to find the right campsite to stop at.
It's too steep. Yeah, maybe it's more flat over there. This is really dense. I think we should go around the bend.
And we found a nice place, but there was too much grass and shrubs like everywhere, and it was difficult to get into the area.
Understanding the need to set up camp before dark, the adventurers decide to relocate from their first choice, forcing some to portage.
Saw a couple places for camp, came back, and there was a little diamond in the rough.
There's a big hole right here. Did I break it on there? Hopefully not.
So then we found a better place, which I'm happy about.
We felt it was a lot clearer, a lot less dense, a lot of dry wood. So it'd be pretty easy to gather wood here and to sleep here for the last couple days.
Let's come along. It's gonna be good for the next little while.
Yeah, it should go by pretty quick. The last 3 days, I think, championship rounds.
I think we chose a good place.
That's what I came here to do, and I'm doing it. It's an amazing experience. I can't wait to paddle one last time.
After weeks with little food and a demanding camp life, even the smallest paddle can become exhausting for some. They all push through to finish setting up and enjoy the experience as best they can.
Just gonna hit the ground. Hilarious.
I'm really looking forward to going home. I'm almost done. Like today, I almost felt like just walking out. I know I'm so close, but I'm just done. Done moving, setting up camps. I'll probably miss it after the fact, but it's tiring. It's cold.
Vengeance, my heart burns so black. I'm always on the attack.
Yeah, I think we're all just feeling tired, and we're near the end of this, and I think we're all just kind of getting that cabin fever here.
Feels good. Everyone's counting down these last 3 days, and everyone's working hard. It feels good.
I definitely felt like I was more energetic for a good part of this, and now I'm just drained and tired. It's like watching a pot boil. Now that we're at the end of it, we're just waiting and waiting, and the energy's draining, and like I said, cabin fever is setting in, so I think that's where my low energy is coming from.
Yeah. Right about there is good. Okay. Okay, that was, yeah. And then we're gonna take, this will be the door, because that's, take this one. Yeah.
Despite the exhaustion and challenges, everyone knows that their journey is nearing an end. They have all struggled with reconnecting to the land and who they are in relation to it. But as the final days of the journey are upon them, they begin to feel a sense of loss. For the adventurers, although the camp is the calmest that they can remember, there is still some stress.
Yeah, I think we're too tired to fight, really.
Got to really get to know them these past couple days. Got to see their strengths, their weaknesses, because I like to observe.
Yeah. Not that bad, not that much. Yeah, we can pull that one up, Lauren.
Day just is a little extra today. It's a little more day.
A little more that way, Logan, that way. To the left, to your right. But wider out, more.
You like this placement on this one?
It's pretty good, yeah. I've gone through the physical process of it. I feel like I've kind of like dealt with a lot of the psychological, and I'm just sort of, and you can twist that one. Just finding my rhythm now, like just really finding I'm hungry, but I'm not that hungry. I'm like tired, but I'm not that tired. I got a lot of energy now. It's kind of like I've broken through to like a more natural state, which is great.
Yeah, I had no energy yesterday. My sinuses were all plugged up, and I I'm not gonna lie, I sat on the beach all day.
Well, keep her they're pretty much exactly the same height, except for this one. That was too long. There you go. Cool.
Okay, one more.
I'm happy that we improved with our teepee building. It's just the other night, our teepee collapsed, and that was pretty scary, but we did realize what the problem was, and the problem was how it was knotted. The top area wasn't knotted very properly, so it just slid and all the logs fell. It was kind of like a domino effect, and it was pretty scary because I was inside the teepee. Today's teepee is much better, and it is sturdy, which I'm happy about.
Bad tree.
It's okay, it's good on the stump, actually. Well, I think that we all kind of know our roles. Okay, I did that last time, so I'll just do it again. We can't move forward without shelter or firewood. Like, that's just a given, so I think everyone knows that. In the beginning, it's what really slowed us down. I guess it's almost subconscious now, where we're just like, okay, we have to do this regardless of how tired we are. It's like we just have to dig a little deep and go for it, because otherwise we're gonna freeze.
While preparing camp, they are greeted by a new elder, Belinda Basque. Belinda arrives to bring some flavor into their lives.
Because it lolage, mishap joya, I get to know the mola wakamala no. To show much pagis or hike. Kundala de galala to go work is him can toss about to our toss it. Kisimol Quatum led a dog jacket. I couldn't get to ham quarters in the show book towel to know. Nanike.
I thought the cooking method was really cool. I like having a deep pit, you know. I wish we had started the fire a little sooner so we could have more coals and actually have the cooking time much faster.
Well, this book told us the whole cooler. I like a sort of like book so cheese, cool, is easy. And already we just know we still got no age. I do wish. I'm sure you are my lord. When it is your skin, no matter.
Got one.
At first, I was kind of scared to skin the squirrel, and then I realized it's dead, so I have no worries.
When you buy it from the store, it's a hunk of meat. You don't see the skin and everything, but I guess I know anatomy a little bit, and so I'm comfortable with it.
There you go.
Just like that. Keep
Just
going
like
around,
that.
or? But yeah, no, I'm just comfortable working with meat, I guess.
No.
Doesn't bother me. Or up like this.
I think once you get it, then you see. Oh my God. I guess I'm sure we're going.
The elder and Daybi played a big role in helping me skin the squirrel because I've never skinned a squirrel before. Having them guide me through the skinning of the squirrel and cleaning was very helpful.
Here, what's up here? It's okay. Just keep going. Jerry, maybe it'll be easier if I chop the tail off now.
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
I appreciated it very much.
I believe that processing, hunting, and collecting the food, it's all a part of reconnecting with my ancestors. We're gonna appreciate its life that it gave for us. Whereas if you just see a, packaged piece of meat, you don't even think about an animal that died for you.
بس خسي قالوا تولى كيس موغو guys. We need a stick. Kaka ini bas la kunta itu kikchuka. I think you got the muscles to abas khasi all this.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
If I get rabies, yo. If I become crazy about nuts.
Huh? It's coming. Like this one.
Oh, there you go.
Look.
I got it.
Where's the tail? You didn't get the tail.
That's
You
the tail,
gotta take the bone out.
Oh, okay. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I've been dreaming about food for the past couple of days, and that's hard. And I think my body's like crashing because I drink a lot of caffeine at home.
Okay, buksugay again. Naru kamush. Buksugay agadiyo. Gotta build more fire.
All right.
And then when you're done,
We can do that.
Okay, let me scan the abish buksugo. Tishuach leave 6 chocolates. That was easy. You understood that. There you go. And I'm all doing buksugo. I'm all doing. Yeah. Okay, do How many? Okay, you got 5.
It's 4.
4. Okay, did you get as a homogen? You get a maple, we get dog. You go all it, you get negam. We get do chit flavor, chidai, I do it.
Okay.
I do it first, you all get that.
The pit oven was really cool. With that squirrel, you could definitely taste the maple flavor in there, which was nice. We've been having a lot of flavorless meat lately, so having a little bit of that maple flavor was really good.
Just don't put it near the fire. Chala book to it.
And then just having like that pit in the ground where we were able to like just smoke it, it was never seen anything like that before.
Flavor for the... There you go. Wow.
So that was really nice.
I was a little skeptical on how the leaves are on top. It's good. It's really good. It tastes like smoked ham, really. If I had known we could do that, I would have been doing that with our clam. I would have been doing that with everything.
Oh, it's starting up again. We got any water?
These ones are the wettest.
Oh.
There you
There.
Put it here.
Abiji gala do wishnia. Megishka.
I thought it was really cool that we can cook squirrel with maple leaves. They can't be dried, they have to be wet in order to cook. Otherwise, you would just be burning the maple leaves.
Kizu is so like me just ultine. Pass it around.
Oh yeah, that maple's good.
This one isn't. Look, I think it's going to be done in a bit. This one.
Wow, that maple's
not quite, but.
Oh, water?
Water?
Flame. Fire.
After digging a small pit, rocks are placed along the sides of the hole to contain the heat. A fire is lit at the base of the pit. Wet branches, such as maple, are laid in a crisscross pattern, creating a rack where game meats are placed. The pit is then covered with a layer of wet maple leaves, and the meat is cooked in a smoky oven, drawing the flavor of the leaves and wood.
So that maple flavor really comes through.
Well, all you have. Tell me just what you had. I thought I'm like you got. I do the wish you guys. Couple of bits you have. It's always so what else. It's always the what else about it. We want more. So, my job is do. No more talks about.
Malin.
Masicho.
Meat wedge. Meat wedge.
Balalin, thank
Well,
you.
yeah,
very
God,
much.
well, yeah. No more talks. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
With a new gift of food, the group's spirits are lifted, but they must still complete camp before nightfall. After their teaching, the group makes an odd choice for their campsite.
We had a teaching today, and that took up most of the day, which is really nice. I'm happy to have learned how to cook a squirrel with maple leaves.
Clams probably taste really good.
It's a first for everything, and that was one of my firsts. yeah, I'm happy that I got to do that.
All right, let's starve.
I guess it was a group decision that maybe the ground is too wet where we had it, and that there was already a fire pit dug, so a few of the people wanted to just move it, and I wasn't going to put up any arguments. If half the group wants to, that's fine with me. They're probably more concerned about the ground being very moist where we had the campsite initially, whereas up around that fire pit it seems to be a little bit more soil and less moss, so it's much drier. I'm collecting some boughs so that we can raise up our beds a little bit, just stick them in the ground and have a little bit of a mat so we're not on that cold soil, because I was sitting on it around that fire pit this whole time, and I haven't warmed up yet. I'm cold.
With only a small meal to share, the group settled in for the night, tired and with food still on their minds.
Make it to our challenge. We go about it. I need a Subway or a Monster.
As the sun rises, the anticipation of reaching their final camp grows. It's time to get their final journey underway. After weeks on the land, they feel more confident and prepare to portage a half-kilometer through the woodlands, followed by a 2.5-kilometer paddle. The journey is nearing its end, and many in the group are processing their experiences, wondering what their lives might be like afterwards. As they near their final campsite, smoke rises from a fire on shore. The adventurers are about to meet someone unlike they have met. Someone with first-hand knowledge of their experience.
Come on ashore. Howdy, come on in. Got a nice fire going for you.
Days become nights. Rains become rivers. The land changes us all. When we live in harmony with the world, we see with fresh eyes and find the peace to face any challenge. When will you seek your best self? How can we live today to inspire a better tomorrow?
So I heard you're helping us build a teepee today.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm hearing it too for the first time.
6 strangers must return to the wilderness, traveling old trade routes of the Ulnu and Unamagi, also known as Cape Breton. Surviving for 25 days with no modern technology, learning the old ways from the elders, to reconnect to their past and find what truly matters. On their final portage, the group prepares to paddle out to Burntwood's camp. The winds are cold, a sign that the season is turning. As they paddle, they realize this could be one of their last times canoeing together. On shore, they can see a fire already lit. Awaiting them is a familiar face. An adventurer from Season 1 has traveled to greet them, share his insights on what they've been through, and what it will be like when they return to their old lives.
Oh, well, I'm honored to be a representative here from Season 1 to oversee the next generation of merchants. Howdy, come on in. Got a nice fire going for you. Well, when it was Season 1 and we were nearing our end, I think we were a little relieved, but at the same time we were melancholy, because we had to stop having all that fun. Nice looking vessel, brings me back. And so I'm really jealous of these new guys, they're just coming down. I hope to get some of that energy off. Brendan.
Nice to meet you, Brendan.
Nice to meet you.
Jody.
Jody, nice to meet you. Brendan. Yeah, that's my sporting. Stop the wind from blowing everything out of proportion. I am very excited to be back in a teepee in the wilderness, roughing it, you know. Who needs a comfy, cozy bed when you got moss everywhere? Hello, adventurers! Pull your canoe in here and warm yourself by the fire.
Were you on the first one?
I was indeed.
Okay.
Well, I don't really consider myself an elder. Maybe a knowledge keeper, a wisdom tidbit giver. Oh, that really brings me back.
We made cedar tea at least.
I was wet too, not as much as you, but...
Oh yeah, you're wet? Yeah? Okay.
Let's see, where's the wetness? Where's the wetness? I don't see it. Oh, that's hardly damp. Maybe moist, I don't know. Memories.
Were you one of the merchants?
Yep, and we had a canoe just like that. But I mean, that's what you gotta do with your teachings, right? You gotta pass them on. You gotta make sure someone else knows them in case you end up somewhere else. Come on the shore. I guess what I've been looking forward to the most is just enjoying the nature. Right in here, right in here.
That's good, I can get out.
It looks different, you know. It's certainly not Northern Ontario, that's for sure. Beautiful though.
By the way, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Teresa.
Teresa?
Yeah.
Logan, nice to meet you. Ani bonjour to everybody. And
Joshua.
Joshua, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, I'm Carly.
Nice to meet you, Carly. So, you're a group too.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. How do y'all feel?
Tired. Yeah.
I imagine. Well, I have brought our merchants some fish tonight, and we will have a nice little feast around this fire. Wow, looking out on this beautiful, beautiful body of water.
Meeting Brendan at their final camp has affected everyone in unexpected ways. They have persevered, overcome hardships, hunger, and homesickness. But their journey is ending, and their time on the land and with each other will soon be over. As they think back on all they have achieved, another thought fills the air. Like Brendan, the elders, and their ancestors, there will be a new chapter and a new life beyond this journey for them to embrace. The teachings may be drawing to an end, but the lessons are only beginning. With only a few days left on this journey, everyone realizes they are now being passed the torch to carry on the knowledge that has been shared with them.
So we paddled up to the shore there, and we had an unexpected guest, first season merchant Brandon, and it was something to see. Like, didn't expect that. He was there to greet us, and he had a little fire going for us, so we were there to get warm. And seeing him come through it at the end and still be around and to make it through, it's kind of nice to know that we have that in common and share that status, that we're official merchants. It's a nice feeling to see someone who's been through it, because it's more relatable and it's a bit more comforting knowing that someone else went through what you went through and they can relate.
I see some of you are rocking the standard issue moccasins.
Oh yeah.
I remember pulling up and I was like, that face looks familiar. Wait a second here.
I definitely had a fangirl moment. I just left I want to get into dry mocks instead of wearing wet boots.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that was really exciting to have a familiar face show up and be spending the night with us. So that's also really exciting. It's going to be a good night.
I was a stickler for authenticity. I went with leather.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess the guy still got the muscle memory. Show me a sapling.
Yeah. That's the spirit.
I would have absolutely loved to have Brendan around for a while. A visit is nice, but I love it when anybody comes.
Yeah, I'm from Windsor, and one of the things Windsor's known for is our salt, because we're at the bottom of a prehistoric lake. But that was my big thing in season 1. We didn't have any salt.
I know.
And I like seasoning. I love seasoning.
I know.
So if I were here with you guys, I would have been the one, you know, boiling off the salt of the water, just to season something. You know, where we were, it was rose hips and mooseberries scattered every so often. Here, the floor is littered with bunchberries, and they're edible, and they're delicious.
Oh, this one's is good. Your fire burns warmer than ours.
Yes, the new merchants look a bit hungry. So y'all hungry? I imagine that's how we looked when we were at their stage of the adventure. I brought some fish for you.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So I really hope they enjoy the fish I brought them.
Fish on a stick?
You can have it any way you like.
Nice.
Hope they haven't gotten tired of fish being this close to the water.
It's really exciting. He seems to be doing really well, and he was really excited about our experience here.
What time do you usually build your house? I mean, let's...
So usually when we touch, the first thing we do is firewood and teepee.
All right, well.
So just knowing how excited he was and how much it kind of changed him, it's really great.
You got some firewood, so I say we get started on that teepee.
Sounds great.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Put season 1 to shame. Let's see how fast you can do it.
I'll just leave my boots here.
With bittersweet excitement, the group prepare their final camp.
What we normally do is we stomp the ground before we build the teepee, stomp out the negativity. So let's see your best jig.
Should I go in a circle? Or...
Well, first we say a little prayer and give thanks to not only our ancestors and stuff, but also to the Mi'kmaq for having us here.
Absolutely.
We tell the Earth Thunder to pray that this is our last camp and we end strong. Pray to the grandfathers and grandmothers that are walking this land that we're on, that they watch over us and they get rid of all the negativity. No negativity comes to our camp, and I pray for everyone's families back at home. All my relations.
Yes, son.
Me grab. Okay. Okay, let me get some
Let's get warm.
protein before you guys stomp it.
I heard it too. That was kind of the thing behind powwow, you know, the whole stomping in a circle. They're preparing the land. Setting up the wigwam just flooded me with happy memories of doing it with my own crew back then. And I can't wait to sleep in it. I'm very, very honored that they've invited me to be their guest, and I hope I can pull my own weight. You guys definitely have an abundance of moths. I mean, we didn't have this much moss, I don't think.
No, we have moss all the time.
Looks comfortable.
Wet.
Comfortable and damp.
So if I can pass on any wisdom to them, it's just, you know, don't let these teachings go. As soon as you get back to wherever you're going, pass it on.
Hopefully he'll be impressed with us. We're coming together, we're getting things done, we're working together as a team, we're surviving out here, connecting. I hope he'll be impressed.
We're all pretty stoked. We're on the last push here. I can honestly say I'm gonna miss it. Going back to the steady hum of traffic and lights and all that. Pretty nice to wake up to. It's peaceful.
Hoping that he'll answer some of those questions that I have, the lessons he learned and how he applied it to his life, and if he still keeps in contact with the other cast members. Yeah, it should be interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to just ask him some random questions about how it affected him, physically, mentally, spiritually, all that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool. I'm interested, very interested in what he has to say about that.
Well, as far as advice that I can offer this group of merchants, it's a daily thing, I think. It's like a musical instrument. If you don't pick it up at least once a day, you start losing a bit of it. So, you know, after the show, I know I smudged every day, and I tried to keep up that lifestyle. And even if I'm not in the bush every day, I get myself there up here. All right, shall we bow up?
I guess so. Whatever that means.
I apologize, I'm all snore. I'm sorry. It's just gonna happen.
You're sleeping over?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
If you need a nudge me, shut me up, feel free.
You can sleep next to Carly and I.
And Carly's sandwich. She's been waiting for it.
She's been asking for one for days.
Okay, I feel like I know the guy just being out here. Like he's been through it and a lot in common, and I'm glad he chose to stay with us tonight.
He brought a really nice energy to the camp.
Lots of singing. There were some poems that were read. He surprisingly doesn't snore as much as everybody said he does.
I think Day's worse than him.
He had a sandwich with Carly and they were talking like all night. That was kind of annoying, but it's whatever. It's cool.
Not a good fire watcher. He said he'd watch it, woke up, it was cold.
Brendan did take the first fire watch, but the fire went out.
Don't worry, guys, I'll watch the fire. And I was like, okay. Me, I'm like usually the guy on fire watch. Like,
Our fire went out a couple times, so it definitely got pretty cold. So we were like pretty cold.
Fire went out twice, and that never happened in these 25 days.
It's like 2 seconds after that he started snoring. And then he got up and got wood, went back, lay down. 2 seconds later, he started snoring again. I was like, what the heck?
Didn't bother me at all, and he was sleeping right next to me, so I didn't mind.
Excited by news of a beaver lodge, Daybi offers to paddle out with Brendan.
Thank you.
I personally like to ride sitting down. And the spear, please. He was on his knees. It's very temperamental. I tipped it myself earlier this year. Where?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll just Have to keep till we find it.
And he just, I guess he was just kind of a little excited.
A win, yeah, we're...
I'll stay the left. Trying to steer from the front quite a bit, and once it starts tipping, if you don't just stop, it just, you continue the momentum, and next thing you know, we're in the water. I'm like, no way. So we didn't get to see the beaver lodge.
Yeah, I can feel his presence. He's around here somewhere.
You know, I was kind of shocked, and I'm still kind of shaking from it. You know, I'm cold, but it's all good.
Yeah, they went out to the beaver dam and they come back and one of their PFDs inflated.
Did you sink or did you flip?
I had a PFD that inflated the very first day here. Is the water cold?
It's, yeah. You know, it constricted my breathing for about 20 seconds, then I was able to adapt.
It's a shock. I'm more in shock than anything. I'm just like, yeah.
That must have been fun. But also I feel really bad for them because it's cold.
After Brendan and Daybi dry off, the group are visited by Knowledge Keeper Seth, who wants to show them a method of making a fire torch. Brendan joins the adventurers for their final teaching.
Cool, I'm on TV.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't smile.
I just look sad.
Yeah, there you go.
My girlfriend, she broke up with me. I'm heartbroken, she took the kids.
He is really funny. He has that native sense of humor, which I like.
Gwenin Delis and Seth Paulette. Nimwigit Escazoni.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Tante.
I'm going to show you guys how to make this.
What is that?
A cone is formed from single birch bark pieces wrapped around a sturdy branch and fixed to the handle with twine. Collecting resin, sap, cattails, and other suitable materials, the cone is filled and packed tightly, the sap binding any loose materials together. By lighting the material inside, the torch will illuminate the area for several minutes, giving users the ability for nighttime hunting or fishing, travel, or passing signals.
Here, I dare you hold this.
Seth came by and he showed us how to make birch bark torches.
Masqui. DM color it up. Jamo Highlands.
Yeah, I just really appreciate Seth coming out here and knowing that he's only 17 and that he can make his own torches and he can hunt and all this stuff is really cool because he is connected to his culture.
Do you know a good chunk of your language?
Yeah. When I was younger, I was in immersion. I didn't really know how to read or write. So they're like, oh, you gotta go English classes.
Ooh, they have a nice texture.
Oh, hold on. I dare you giving me more strength.
Challenge accepted, bro.
Oh, this guy's crazy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm weak, huh? Oh, I'm really weak. Oh, super weak. I'm sick of it.
There you go.
She's strong. I wish I was Hercules.
How long does the torch burn for?
10 to 15 minutes.
Enough to go to the bathroom and back.
Yep. I'm weak. Guess what up, dos up? Voila. Saxi go dio. Alone. We need to put sap in here so it could burn longer.
All right.
We gotta get some
Awesome.
sap.
With the torch complete, the group must collect enough sap to allow it to burn. The group sets out to harvest materials to make their torches.
Today we learned from Seth how to make a torch using sap and birch bark and other things you can find in the forest. And of course, this lovely favorite from season 1, mishatun, old man's beard, some pine cones, and yeah, it's used for night fishing, as it was explained to me, because I've never night fished for eel, but if you jab the stick down right near an eel, it will instinctively grab onto it.
But I do love popping these.
They're like tree pimples.
Oh, I squirted it.
I didn't know that the trees, the balsam firs, have little sap pimples there that you could get that really ignites well and stays lit. So that was really cool.
I can totally understand how the Mi'kmaq survived so long, and around the sea, coming out with ingenuitive stuff like this. All right, I trust you to hurt me then.
When you're fishing, how do you hold it?
It's probably better to be around a large body of water with one of these, right?
Yeah. Instead of a dry, dead woods. I should throw it over there, huh? Well, thank you for having me here. I'm probably gonna lose my hair. Here.
Thanks for the
around.
teaching.
Thank you very much.
You go.
With their final teaching complete, the adventurers thank Seth and Brendan and reflect on their final few hours in the wild. The night brings reflection on what they have learnt and a chance to appreciate how far they have come and how much more they can still accomplish.
There's a point where I had a moment when I was on fire watch and, I just submitted. I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm done trying to control. I just let everything go.
Just being able to connect to my ancestors, like being out on the land and feeling it when I'm like having a bad day. I go put my hands in the ground and just like breathe, say a little prayer, and feeling that connection to Mother Earth and to who I am as an Indigenous woman has been beyond incredible.
All those times I wanted to leave, I'm not dreading over another day or out there wishing I could be home, because I know I'll be home soon. It's just like a weight lifted off of my shoulders that I finished this.
Being on the land and being spiritually connected, those two things are the basis of what being a First Nations person is, right?
Where I end up, I don't know. It's an open-ended question, but I know it'll be something greater than what I was doing.
With heavier hearts than they expected, the group set off to paddle one last time together. As they cover the long lake in quiet contemplation, every stroke of the paddle takes them further from the land they have called home for so long. They have fought, bonded, lost friends, and made new ones, and all of them are forever changed. The land has given them gifts without names and teachings without end. Near the shoreline, they are welcomed back by Chief Wilbert Marshall.
Kiwi, there you go, guys. Long journey.
Yes, long time.
You're good at the canoes now.
Meeting the chief again after not seeing him for like 20-something days was pretty nice, because he congratulated us and he mentioned that we are going to a sweat today, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Seeing the chief and realizing that this journey was complete was a little bit overwhelming.
We have Swede Maria Guda, Udaniminaut, Chukudayo Nadio, Maliam Mulek. Chukudayo, Swede Maria Bukchikuda, Udanimina, Bullega Usik, Chukudayo Nadio, as you Swede Maria Nige. Hey, guys. There you guys, eh?
The merchants have reached the end of their journey, only to learn that the next chapter is the one they must write themselves. Their story, like our people's, is in their own hands.
Era also my Giswok, Abjalux no Gigwa. Kulaman, Mashkanalux no go up to Doctua Dan Eldayo. Edaway, Elnog, Megamawa, I need up to Dirum Tunk. Abjalux no Gizuk, Gigwam said, Walalio, said Nogama.
6 strangers must return to the wilderness, traveling old trade routes of the Ulnu and Unamagi, also known as Cape Breton. Surviving for 25 days with no modern technology. Learning the old ways from the elders to reconnect to their past and find what truly matters.
Anin Bojo, Kinunene Indigenakas, Bazunashi and Dorem, Mississagi Nishnabe Ninendao, Palmarash Kodeang and Donjaba. Wanana Bojo, 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 Bojo. Hello and welcome. My name is Caleb Musgrave. I'm your special guest host for the final episode of Merchants of the Wild, Season 2. Guessing most of you didn't grow up on the coast, right? Most of you from the interior of Canada, yeah? So you're growing up in a different place, you're brought to this new place, it's a complete, like, you see the ocean and you see water and nothing on the other side, and it's just waves, rocks, and gulls. What the hell was going through your minds?
Seeing the ocean and, not seeing the other side kind of gave me the idea of adventure, and a totally new mindset and totally different from what I live. And it was something else. I was ready for it, but on the other hand, I wasn't.
I don't know, I was just so amazed by seeing the ocean. It's not every day that you see the ocean. I'm from the Northwest Territories where we just have lakes and rivers, so that was very new to me, and I just loved the view, but I hated the cold.
It's a different kind of cold.
It was a different kind of cold. We had to sleep like sardines. Hot dogs. As Cameron said, hot dogs. So cool.
But seeing the ocean there like that was really beautiful. And I think in that moment, I was just taking it all in, and my mind was quiet for once. My mind was quiet. So that was really nice.
That's really cool. Just that kind of just shock of everything. It just shuts down all that inner monologue and dialogue.
It was finally quiet.
Was anybody just flat out intimidated, just scared of like, what have I gotten myself into? This is the day after the hurricane stopped.
Yeah.
That you're out there on that coast for
waves,
25 days.
The waves and thinking those Birch bark canoes, I'm like, okay, this is a challenge.
You're together, but at the same time, you're alone. You're away from your family, your friends, your loved ones, your communities. The environment's completely different because you're with a group, but you're not at the same time. It's not someone you know, it's not someone you grew up with. There's a building of trust at the beginning. If that's not there, it's scary. Was there loneliness?
There was definitely loneliness. It hits pretty hard when you're getting in your own head and you're sitting there, and even though you're surrounded by people you just met, once you get in your head, it's hard to get out sometimes.
100%. The physical difficulties aren't the challenge. It's everything that's up in here. What's going on in there? Does anyone else feel that way?
It was more of a longing for my family. I would experience just such amazing moments, and I only had people that I wasn't connected to experience them with me. Whereas if my family was there, we could be in the moment together. And one particular moment, we were on the ocean at this camp, and you could hear the whales from far off in the distance, and I was really wishing that I could have someone there with me to hear it,
That's beautiful and sad at the same time. When you're missing your loved ones, there's a separation of the group, and then there's the potential to build new relationships, and there's connections made. What kind of connections are we talking about here? Because from what I've seen, there's been some pretty special moments, particularly involving two of you, who I'm looking at potentially. Is this a thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
This is a country. This is the border.
We're over in this nation right now. So what's happening over in Edmonton?
It was something I definitely didn't expect to happen when I went out there. It was much different meeting someone this way and connecting on that level. It was an amazing feeling to go through that, to meet someone this way and get to know them on a personal level. And it's much different when you're cuddling for warmth than you are for affection. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's an amazing feeling.
I went out there looking to connect with myself and find myself and connect with the people I knew I would be out there with. I wanted to make friends, and I found a really solid friend in everybody, but then, you know, connections just grow, you can't help it. It was very unexpected, but also really great. I'm happy.
And there's this kind of rule with relationships, you can really put it into a trial by fire by trying to assemble furniture together. You put it, if that was a trial by fire, you put it through a trial by hell by being out there, building your lodges, making food.
Speaking of cuddling, I cuddled myself every night. I definitely fell in love with myself more out there.
Self-care and self-love is very important, Daybi. Very important.
From the very start of the journey, Daybi had been at odds with many in the group. After a successful hunt, however, tensions reached a boiling point, with Joshua upset at how he had acted and Daybi angered by Joshua's attitude. Everyone in the group witnessed the moment when Daybi confronted Josh.
It hurts me that you're sitting there crying about something good. No, I'm serious. No, I'm not done. I know who you think I am. If you want to scrap, I'll throw down, bro. Yeah, guarantee you.
So before I ask any questions, I'm just going to move that paddle over here.
I knew it was coming.
As everyone reflects back on their time on the land, one of their lowest moments came right after one of their most successful. Having worked together to corner a duck, Daybi's actions and attitude struck Joshua as selfish and ego-driven. Only days into their journey, they were strangers and struggling to work out how to navigate the stresses and struggles of their new lifestyle. Tempers boiled, and a confrontation erupted.
Dogfoot. Those two words don't belong together.
What was going through your mind, Josh, before this all happened, during all of this?
Kind of goes back into like getting in your own head. So I made assumptions about him, and I got it in my head that he wanted to kill for himself. So I got myself upset in my own head, and I had a hard time getting out of that mindset. That's what instigated the conflict, was I guess me being ignorant as it came off.
Clearly you can feel the energy going on. You can feel that there's something going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what was going on for you? What were you feeling at that time?
I mean, I just kind of picked up on it because in my mind, I was like, okay, so our first kill, our first hunt, our first successful hunt, we would all be happy, right? And that's in my mind, that's what I was expecting. I was like, okay, man, like we got some food. Like, this is great. Like, you know what I mean? And it totally was the opposite of that. And that to me was really, I was really disappointed. Then I was like stressed and upset. And that's why I exploded, because we were hungry, we were tired. And I had already, and I thought that would bring the group together.
Cameron, how were you feeling during all of this? What were you experiencing? What were you seeing?
I don't know. I was upset that Daybi went there and just started yelling right away. To me, that didn't seem like a good guy thing, just to go totally fight about it right away when, you know, Josh wasn't ready to talk yet. And it was obvious, but it seemed like Daybi just wanted to go all at it right there and then, when it wasn't time.
Yeah, and I think that brings a point up that what I realized, because me being older, which was eloquently pointed out by Cam, is that, you know, my generation grew up different, right? My generation, had it been someone I grew up with and that had happened, we would have went at it.
Yeah.
You know, Josh is like, he just needed to deal with his own emotions and thoughts. And after that was communicated to me, I was like, oh, okay. They're not like us. They're not dumb like us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna scrap. Like, he wasn't, like, you know, I misread his body language and where they were coming from. And I had to step back and be like, okay, like, that's positive. Like, to me, to see the younger generation dealing with conflict and stuff that way was refreshing. And it kind of gave me some hope, because I was like, okay, like, you know what? Like, not everyone grew up rough in Winnipeg settling their disputes with their fists.
Right.
Which is what I'm used to.
It gave you a little bit of newfound respect for that younger generation behind you.
Yep, yeah.
The beauty of conflict resolution.
Someone grab an axe. I found a snake. Here, I got it. We can go eat it. It's right over here.
For the adventurers, their time on the land showed that success did not mean peace, and conflicts often arose after their most emotional moments. Dealing with difficult group dynamics became essential to their overall success, as they realized there were no distractions from others or themselves out on the land.
Ta-da! Boom.
Did anyone else have an interesting like experience with that snake?
Well, let me just say that Cameron, I was very, his bush skills are very, I compliment them because I never was in the bush.
Thank you.
He was like cleaning the game and he caught the snake. I didn't even see the snake, to be quite honest. I was just sticking an axe in the bush.
Driving a knife into a rock.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
That clip just made my heart break when I was watching that knife go into the stone. I was like, there's a stump right there.
Yeah, I'm like, here.
With the tension and the animosity going on, how does it feel now to hear these compliments, this respect?
I feel better that you said that, you know. I felt like you had a different perspective of me. And so did I, you know, but I tried to not let my mind run through all of that. But thanks for saying all that.
Yeah, I always thought that.
I can imagine how we would have fared if nobody had any bush skills.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sitting there looking at the duck.
Now what?
Did you eat it like this?
Put it on the fire.
You know, I honestly think I thought you actually plucked it. I didn't realize that you peeled the skin. Like that to me was like, wow.
There's a lot of different ways, and it depends on the type of bird. With a lot of ocean-going birds, you want to just skin them, take the fat right off with them because it can be quite strong tasting. It's really cool.
Fat's so good for you.
It is, but it's the flavor. It's not necessarily about whether the fat's good or not. It's the flavor that gets from the fish they eat. Gets right in there. The same reason in Ontario we don't eat merganser. You just don't eat merganser. You would never want to eat a loon. Trust me on that one. But it's the flavor of the fat in the skin. It can get real off tasting. So skinning the duck is actually a much better option with those ocean-going birds. You guys ready to see another clip?
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see this.
You'll need it. I think you're getting along pretty good without me so far, you know. But
we're trying.
Oh, you're trying. That's the main thing. This is your first kill.
It's my first kill.
Yeah. And in our language, it's called Gesquantigan.
Gesquantigan.
It is a ceremony. Nije neba yoni apchish kumus nije neba deba. Ankus neba digan. Kedantigan na ankus neba gisidum goy edaule. El no iktu del wisig negmo Gesquantigan. Bugolik suga nije negmo ina. Mon wije mo ni amon enemy dig nije negmo ina Gesquantigan wan. Ai da sigabnina ba wajbiana ni. No chamna megi de tawo kedan taadim. Na smaadi ani wajigi dia ni. Gesquantigan. It is called.
Gesquantigan.
It means the first kill. Teli megi majui no kito tai juguida tai ninki wisugat. Tawo ne ba du ni. Ka hawa Gesquantime.
So, none of you are Mi'kmaq. Most of you are Cree, Dene. We got some Quicho, some Ojibwe. We got this all kind of mixed, and now you're out on the East Coast in a completely different environment, but also with a completely different nation, the Mi'kmaq people. You were experiencing their culture, you're experiencing their heritage, their language, their skills, their hunting and fishing techniques. What was it like to experience that? What was it like to see a whole other culture from this new landscape for you?
Where I'm from, I know there are some elders out there who don't like teaching what they know or sharing their knowledge. So I felt very grateful for them, and it was totally different from what I learned from where I'm from with animals and how their ceremonies, there's not that kind of stuff out there where I'm from.
Mm.
We're OG Cree, but like my siblings, only 1 out of 4 of us knows how to speak OG Cree. And it's because he was older and he lived on the land up there with them, you know? So the rest of us were all urban and we didn't get to learn our language. So I'm trying to work on that now, and I think it's a really important part of our culture to keep that language. How are we gonna survive if we're not proud and continuing on?
It's revitalization. That's the important part. What Terry and his kids are doing is not preservation. They're revitalizing it. They're bringing it back to the forefront. And it's a beautiful way of life, and that's something that's really inspiring for all of us.
When Terry said that you can make something out of nothing, like how he made his tools out of wood, like at one point it was nothing, now it's something that you could use. And he really inspired me to like revitalize my language, Clicho. A lot of people in my community, they don't speak Clicho. Some of them, like there's old Clicho present and there's like the new. So I started taking language classes every week, and both my parents are fluent, so I'm trying my best to like revitalize my language, and one day I hope to like teach it to my future children. It motivates me to be a better person and to be culturally strong in my language and my traditions and all of that good stuff.
When I was growing up, I was learning survival skills from non-natives all across North America. And my elder back home kept saying, you know, if you just learn your language, you'll survive better. I never understood what he was talking about until I was like 24 years old. Started breaking down Anishinaabe words for trees and realizing, oh, the word for bass in our language literally translates to the tree we get rope from. Like it told me every thing I needed to know. Everything that's out there. So the language can help you on the land, it can help you at home. It's really good that I'm seeing that happen again, saying language is a strong part. So I can definitely appreciate and empathize with all of you for that. And so you're like the new guy and you walk in with an arrow-pierced squirrel. How does that gotta feel?
It felt great. Really brightened everyone's spirits when I brought it. And
it was a great feeling.
Yeah.
I remember the moment I heard him, he was like, oh yeah. I was like, no way. And I must have felt like when you felt when we had the duck, because I was like, no way.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo, we gotta
right.
get to so like, that was like the happy hunting moment I was waiting for. I was denied the first one.
After months apart, everyone has had time to truly reflect on what happened in the wild, the teachings they were given, and the ones they were forced to accept. They have all had to reckon with how they see themselves, each other, and the world around them. Their time on the land has changed them all for the better. Looking back on their days and nights reconnecting to the land, the adventurers have relived the highs and lows with new eyes. As the struggles and challenges revealed the strength of their ancestors, it also exposed their own spirit and has changed the course of their lives in ways none of them ever expected.
Do you feel like what you went through, your journey, changed you in any way?
100%. I went into this whole journey looking to, like I've said, find myself, and I definitely feel like I accomplished that. Not only that, but I also made a lot of really great friends, and, you know, this guy here. But it was a life-changing experience.
Yeah, it was definitely life-changing. Like coming into it, I didn't know what to expect, and actually, like I turned down full funding for school just to come to the show, and school scared me more than this did. And I feel like it was really worth it. It gave me a lot to think about. It taught me a lot about like my behaviors and my my patterns in myself and how I can change that and implement it and like be a role model for other people.
It gave me strength. By the end of it, I felt like, yeah, like I felt very strong, and I still carry that with me and the things that I've learned every day. Plus everyone in this group, you know, they got to meet me.
Or did you get to meet us?
But no, I'm just kidding. No, it was great. It was a great experience. Despite our differences in the age, like I learned a lot from them as well in terms of understanding where my son is coming from more, because, you know, I come from a harsher, you know, we come from a harsher generation, and my son, begin to understand more how people are processing things, and to see that and experience that within a younger group of people actually kind of gives me hope, and like taught me a lot in terms of how to communicate, and also where I was, you know, where to work on myself.
Beautiful.
I feel like I've changed a bit more with my perspective in the bush. Being out there, learning from those elders made me realize that I have my grandparents at home. Because before I left, my grandfather was saying how he was so upset that none of his grandchildren come to him and ask for teachings or to learn things like that. So as soon as I got home, I went to go do that. I went to go ask him, like, let's do some more, let's go out to the bush together. And that's what I've been doing. And I feel like being out there in the bush made me realize I need to know more of this so I can know it all and teach children younger than I am.
I could always just go in a crowd and just keep quiet and listen to people, you know? Right. But I'm finding now that people do want to hear your voice, you know, so that's something. And also connecting with all the elders was really valuable to me. And that's something that I want to seek out in my own life.
It just simply reaffirmed that if I'm ever feeling lost in the city, just to go back home a lot more to the res. You know, so.
Get back to the roots.
Yeah.
Before I came on this show, that I was trying to be independent in all the wrong ways without my parents and being away for so long, not having contact with my family, made me realize that I do need their advice, and I do like having their voice around me and their input on things, and it just really changed my perspective on life. And I know I come off as shy, but this experience really helped me become more confident and overcome my fears. I just feel like a changed person after this whole thing.
I want to thank everybody that's had the time to sit down with me and go through some memories. Hopefully it inspires others to go back to their communities, their homelands, to learn from their grandparents and their elders and get back to the land. Thank you very much. Kachimigwech. Woo!
Oh.
There you go. One last group.
Era also my giswok abjalux no gigwa. Kulaman mashkanalux no goyuk tudautiwa dan eldayo. Era way elnog megamawa. Anid up to dirmtunk. Abjalux no giswok. Gigwa amsid turmk. Walalio. Amsid nogama. Era also my giswok abjalux no gigwa. Kulaman mashkanalux no goyuk tudautiwa dan eldayo. Era way elnog megamawa. Anid up to dirmtunk. Abjalux no giswok. Gigwa amsid turmk. Walalio. Amsid nogama. Era also my giswok abjalux no gigwa. Kulaman mashkanalux no goyuk tudautiwa dan eldayo. Era way elnog megamawa. Anid up to dirmtunk. Abjalux no giswok. Gigwa amsid turmk. Walalio. Amsid nogama. Era also my giswok abjalux no gigwa. Kulaman mashkanalux no goyuk tudautiwa dan eldayo. Era way elnog megamawa. Anid up to dirmtunk. Abjalux no giswok. Gigwa amsid turmk. Walalio. Amsid nogama.